Get off the track and into the streets. Camden Sports Productions and Naira Awards are proud to present At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga, a weekly behind-the-scenes discussion about the Saratoga horse racing season hosted by nationally recognized racing expert and analyst Andy Serling. Tonight's show is also brought to you in part by Timeform US and Capital OTB. Now, live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga, here's Andy Serling.
I want to welcome everybody to At the Post Live here at the Parting Glass Live in Saratoga Springs. We want to thank everybody for coming. We've got a great show tonight. I know everybody has been waiting all season for the man to my right. It says something that there's a guy who's the most popular guest on the show, and you really have nothing to do with horse racing much. Well, actually you do. Apparently, Jimmy Patsos, the Siena basketball coach. Let's give him a big hand.
Thank you.
Apparently you have a side job.
Well, Sagamore Racing is owned by the Under Armour. My friend Kevin Plank, Under Armour, sponsors Siena. And when I got the job, Kevin Plank said, I really appreciate you getting the Siena job. We're going to be your sponsor, Under Armour. And I go, why? He goes, because you're 30 minutes from Saratoga, and I love racing. And we are now an Under Armour school because of him. But Sagamore Racing, Hunter Rankin from Kentucky has taken them over, and they're going to try and get to the next level. It's funny, Kevin Plank has won at everything he's done, but he's finding racing is a little more difficult.
It's such a shock, isn't it? There's so many people out there that are unbelievably successful in life that come to racing and get humbled.
Yes, he is one of them.
I am not successful in anything, and I'm getting humbled by racing, so that makes it even better.
You are a nationwide success story. I use your name at Del Mar. They let me write in.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I went to the second day of Del Mar. They're like, oh.
It definitely had nothing to do with Siena's year. How was your year?
We had a big year, right? We had a bad year. Too many injuries.
With injuries? You're blaming on injuries?
Bad coaching and injuries.
It's a bad combination. How's the team looking for next year?
Actually, very good. I'm actually super excited about our team. I'm glad you asked. Great recruiting class, but Greg Manning just returned from Croatia, and Marquise Wright was really playing well over there, and Kenny Wormley, one of our new freshmen. But Brett Bisping's healthy, and Emo Silas is healthy, and much like horse racing, when your horses are healthy, you have a much better chance to win. It's still difficult. Everybody's trying to win, but when your horses are injured, you're not going to win. And the thing about John Dargenio, my boss, who was at the track yesterday, I'll throw him in there, and loves racing. We made a decision to redshirt Emo Silas and to redshirt Brett Bisping, and that was gonna make sure that we didn't have as good a year. But that might make us that much stronger for this year and next year. Brett's here for 2 years, and you had to do that not only for the good of the player being healthy, but it's good for our program to get them back. And Brett Bisping was our leader. Brett Bisping was our tough guy, and we missed him. But a lot of guys grew up with it, and Javion Oganyemi is now coming back. A Troy kid is coming back to go to school. So all of a sudden, we're looking like we have a pretty good chance here.
That's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I want to win every year too, but you have to do what's good long term. And I know the Siena fan base is really hungry. They want to win every year, and I respect that completely. And if we don't win, it's on me. I get it. On the other hand, I'm trying to do what's good for the school and the program for a long time, which is why we open at Duke in Wisconsin.
Do you really?
We do.
Wow.
We do.
That's going to be pretty good.
No, it's good. Here's what happened. The ESPN came and said, Mike Krzyzewski and Duke wants to play Siena because they have a better name. And then Wisconsin said the Big Ten Network, that's a credit to Siena's history and the school. There's a bunch of teams that could have played those games. And they came and said, you're available. Would you do this 2-game trip? I know we're probably not going to win, but I just want to win the Travers. See, I know I'm probably going to get beat in the Derby and the Preakness. That's all right, because then I'm going to get better. And look out in 3 months, then we're going to win the Travers, right?
Now, ESPN's got to
be... And we will race the Travers unlike American. Is American Pharaoh going to come? That's why I came here to fight.
I don't know. Chris Kay is here. Chris Kay is going to come at the end of the show, and he's actually going to reveal whether or not American Pharaoh's
He should come. Who doesn't want to... it's part of the legacy.
We think there's a reasonable chance he's going to come. We'd like him to come.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think everybody wants him to come.
And that's why when I said to my team, we're going to play Duke, but what an opportunity for Siena basketball, but you as individuals to play Duke. You want to play them. They're dropping the band. That's Coach K. And they're like, well, and I'm like, anybody who says well, then you shouldn't be in the race anyways, right?
Absolutely. Now you play him at Cameron Indoor?
Cameron Indoor.
I saw the Dead there, did you know?
No,
1982.
I didn't know they played there.
They play there a lot. In fact, there's a great Grateful Dead show from Cameron Indoor from 1978 on YouTube you should check out.
I will get that.
It's actually very good. I went there in 82, the opening night of the spring tour, actually, in 82.
See, that's when they get I heard they played Cole Fieldhouse once.
They did. They played Cole Fieldhouse in 81, actually.
I mean, you are a real I didn't start going to the Dead shows till 86.
They played Ike Hoyko that night, actually. Really?
I did.
Now, you went to the Chicago shows, the first show. You didn't go to all three.
Nope, I went to one show. If we had a great year, I'd have gone to all three. I needed to go recruiting, so I only went to one. So,
did you bring any of the recruits to the show?
if they were at the Dead show, Bill Walton was an anomaly. Okay, that probably wasn't going to,
Bill Walton actually used to bring all the Celtics to the Dead show, and you could always see them on stage because they were so big.
I was there at Foxborough with Bill Walton, actually. And you know what? I know Bill Walton, and he's a great guy. And as much as he loves basketball, if you just bring the Dead up, he is right on track with it. And he was there on Sunday night. But you know what? It was a great event. Chicago's a great town. It was great to go. It was just to see everybody again, and you run into old friends. But it was just a happy, good event. But I'll tell you what, they brought a lot of money. Here's my Dead story. My friend went to make reservations. This is the Dead 2015. The first 3 hotels sold out were the Fairmont, the Four Seasons, and the Ritz. How things have changed.
Right, from 6 of us.
The Holiday Inn had rooms. They were like, come on in.
Right, 6 of us staying in one room,
Those days are over. They're like, where's my room service?
Right, I don't want to.
Do you believe that cab driver? I'm like, what? We used to walk to the shows.
I remember watching the 1985 Breeders' Cup, actually, from a hotel room in Richmond, across from the arena, going to the Richmond Dead shows.
Can I ask one? I went to the Keeneland. My wife is the best. The best handicapper in my family is undisputable. It's my wife, Michelle, who's a great lady, by the way, who deserves. She puts up with me. Her sister lives in Keeneland. Her father loves horses. She lives in Saratoga, and her sister lives in Keeneland. So the guy made it into horse heaven. Can they handle the Breeders' Cup? It's kind of smaller, but I liked going. Don't get me wrong. I went in April.
What do I think? No, I think they better hope it's not rainy or cold. Because Keeneland's a great place, and I've spent a lot of time at Keeneland. I love Keeneland. But believe me, you don't want to be there when it's cold and rainy. And I think it's a chance. Inside? Well, yeah, there's very little room for the have-nots that is covered or inside. So if it's chilly or rainy, it's terrible. If it's nice weather, it'll be fine.
Isn't that what happened at Monmouth when they had it there? They had the bad weather?
Yeah, it poured. And that was
So you think it should just be in California?
No, I don't. Well, I think it should be in New York. I think it's preposterous that the Breeders' Cup hasn't been to New York.
There you go.
And frankly,
so
the
Belmont,
idea...
you have it at Belmont?
Absolutely. The job that we've done and what we've done with the guests and stuff at Belmont, for the Belmont Stakes, you've been there,
Actually,
we can handle
my wife
crowds.
went to the first Belmont.
How was it?
Great. Well,
I know you're a VIP. You're an important guy.
I'm not exactly a large anymore, so it's got room, to maneuver and stuff. And it's we thought it was great. I love the whole outside park, but no, there's room on the platform, and I thought Belmont's great.
And they can't use the excuse that they want to run the race at night and they need a track that either in the West Coast can run later on the East Coast, or they need lights because Keeneland doesn't have lights. So that one's out the window with Keeneland, and we have much more room at Belmont. So it's time. They want to just say, we don't like you in New York, we don't want to have it. They should say it. But yeah, we'd like to have it.
I'd like to have it. I thought, me and my wife thought Belmont was a great park, the whole thing.
You had fun at the Belmont Stakes?
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. It was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
This year, we did not go. I went to the
You didn't go this year?
I went to the Derby and Preakness, courtesy of Sagamore Farm Racing.
So you went to the Derby and Preakness and you didn't come to the Belmont Stakes. You show up sometimes to see me.
It was Siena's alumni weekend, and I put Siena first because that's who my check is signed by.
That was a fast lie.
Was it really? Were we there? It's Siena. Hey, look, there was some people. Siena's an unbelievable school, but they are starting to have this. You forget they were founded by St. Bonaventure, and it was like an all-boys school, and now it's grown into this whole thing, and there's tremendous alumni, and a lot of big alums of mine were back, and so I went to alumni weekend, and it's fine.
You missed American Pharoah.
Stoney's down on Latham Road wasn't quite exactly what I thought it was, but I caught that race there.
You missed American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown.
I did. I saw 2 of the 3.
It was pretty cool, though, right?
I think it's great for racing. That's why he has to come.
You're everywhere. You're constantly sending me texts saying, I'm at such and such a racetrack watching you on TV.
I just try to support the great sport that founded American sport history 150 years ago. Look, this guy, Kevin Plank, and I don't mean to push him, it's like the Preakness needs some work. The Preakness is great, but Pimlico is it's the opposite of Saratoga. But here's the problem. When I go to Keeneland or when I go to these places, I think racing is in great shape, but people tell me that it's not all over the place. But I think it's important that it's an event sport. I see these young people. Jordan Watson's my new assistant from Dartmouth, who's over there with my friend Lizzie from Siena, and we all meet with all these young people at Saratoga. It's such a great event to be around, but you've got to make sure racing survives. And we've had trouble, and I know Dutro's coming up at Maryland. Maryland lost their vision, and they got to do something. This guy wants to build a new track, and do you know this?
I think that they do have ideas in Maryland. And listen, obviously Pimlico is an easy place. It's an easy place to dump on.
I know, but That's what I'm saying. In other words, I
But
thought
Baltimore's a great town.
Baltimore is a great town, but they want to move the track downtown, and this guy wants to build a whole racing set on his. He's building an Under Armour town in Baltimore. In the middle of it's going to be a racetrack. Here's the question. I thought Belmont was like Pimlico. It's not. Belmont is a much physically better building. And
it's a great place.
So I didn't know till you go. And then Santa Anita is great, but Del Mar was in Keeneland. These are interesting places.
They are. No, I agree. And I think that the message the Breeders' Cup was we're going to move it around the country and showcase different racetracks. And it's been lost a little bit, to be honest. And I get it when I go to Santa Anita, because Santa Anita is a terrific track and it's warm, and I understand it. But you've got a lot of trainers, and let's face it, you've got a huge base of top trainers and top horses in New York. And at a certain point, they shouldn't have to travel for the Breeders' Cup. It shouldn't always be a home court advantage.
I did not know they never had it.
We've had it. We've had it at Belmont in 1990, in 95, 2001, and 2005, and we had the second Breeders' Cup was at Aqueduct, actually, which a lot of people don't believe.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a great Breeders' Cup.
I think they should have it there, and then I could go down on this Saturday. I couldn't go to Friday, but I could go to Saturday.
It's basketball.
After the year we had, we're not missing any practice.
Can't you get like a game or something in New York on Thursday?
We're playing Hofstra. We have a very interesting schedule. We have some new teams coming in. We're going to play Hofstra for 4 years, because a lot of our people are from Long Island. And it's funny. I didn't know this job. Just people want to know about Siena basketball, what a great job it is. But it entails a lot of things, and I'm managing the job better. And I think we have a lot of good guys coming in. You know, it's a character job. You need guys that have good character, and then they want to win. And the Times Union Center is a great place to play. I was just in Kuwait, and we have a lot of people over there. It's funny. I was over serving the troops in Kuwait. Me, Pete Gillen, Dino Gaudio.
Nice.
It was actually, I'll tell you, a guy gave a touching speech about who was an upstate New York guy, how big. He's like, you don't know how big Siena basketball is to the soldiers unless you're from there. And it was really touching. And then the guy went into how he protects our freedom so 9/11 never happens again. And it was really wild. And then they played basketball, but it was a good thing, because things are, what they're doing over there to try and get us to live our lives in the party glass in Saratoga, because that's not what's happening over there. And these guys are fighting for us. Is pretty interesting. But Siena basketball was a big topic by the end, because they Google us and oh, wow, you're in these crowds, and what a great, tradition you have. And it's my job to get us back to there, and that's okay. I accept that.
Well, Jimmy, I think you're going to do it, and I appreciate your coming here.
Serling, I always love it. Make sure you go see. You're coming for this, right? I'll be here next Thursday if anybody wants to hang out. Margaret is a great country singer.
Absolutely. Nashville comes to races. It's the Giving Tree. We're running a charity event here after the show next Thursday. Hope people can come join us. $25. Stick around. Going to have a number of top songwriters. They'll be performing songs they've written for a lot of the top country artists. Margaret Valentine will be here. Bryce Long, Matt Warren will be here. It's after our show next week. It's all benefiting the Giving Circle. All the money is going back to charity. It's a good event. Hope you can stick around for that. And we're coming to a break. Jimmy, we want to thank you for being with us. We want you to stay with us.
I want to thank you because you're great, and you taught me if a favorite's going to win, it is a good bet, the value bet. Thanks.
It's all about value, Jimmy. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by Capital OTB. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB.